Two questions. Do you think America is ready for a woman president? And are you ready for a woman president?
um, is America ready for a woman president? No, right? I don't think the overall is ready. I think um, I think we have some steps we need to do before we get there.
Hmm.
Um, because you're telling me that the same country that just decided that abortion should be illegal is ready for a woman to run this whole show. Like, I think that says it all, right? So, um, it's
Are
that.
you ready?
Am I ready for a woman president?
Be honest.
I don't know if I have an answer. I didn't see it coming. Because I didn't think we would have jumped ship on Biden and been so pro Harris so fast. I honestly thought if Biden stepped out the race, they were going to do a open convention and have some of the Democrats basically battle it out. I think that actually would have been better for the Democratic Party to do. When Hillary running, I knew there was no way in the world she would win. Um, I
Do you
think
have more hope with Kamala versus Hillary?
I have a little more hope. And it's only a slight bit more hope, and it's only because of what she's been able to do these first 2 weeks. In turn,
Financially.
not even the financial part, that's an added bonus. But I didn't see black people jumping on phone calls and jumping on Zoom calls and donating 200 million. Like I didn't see us jumping on board with this so fast, having not heard one policy yet, right? And I think that's the tricky part. Now, obviously, there's been other races and groups who've also jumped on board, and there's the white women for Trump for Harris. There's white men for Harris. So there's entire groups who are also jumping on board. But when she raised that 200 million, that came from a lot of sorority sisters and black women. And then the guys came out the next day and they did their version, right? So I I don't know. Um, I don't know if I could say I'm ready or if I'm not ready. I just think there's a lot to be seen. I think I'm one of the few people who are like, so what's the policies? What is the what's the thought process? Like what is this campaign rather than anyone but Trump, right? Like cuz I feel like that's what a lot of us are going off of. Anyone but Trump. That's not a format for me, right? Like it's not something I can stand on. Just anyone but Trump. Like what else? And
Yeah.
I think if we don't, and I think that's the thing with, a lot of black people in politics anyway, right? Like we don't have anything that we're asking for and standing on. And like when we talk about staying on business, this is the time. We got a candidate that's running for office who seems to have reinvigorated things. What are our demands? What are we asking for? What are our expectations of this person? And if we're not saying that, we're basically saying, yo, it's like you see a black person at you go away to school or you go to a foreign place and you see that one black person and it's an automatic, yo, fam, what's good? You do the whole thing, especially when you're on vacation. See that, fam, I ain't think I'll see nobody black out here. Shout out to you, right? That's cute when you on vacation. When we talking politics though, like what are you doing? And how are you helping us? Like if we haven't had that conversation, I'm not just gonna jump on board with your campaign. For me, it's not just anybody but Trump. That's not
I
how I view
also would
politics.
like to add, I'm going to answer this question and then I'm going to add one thing and we can totally move on. So for me, it's simple no and no. America's not ready. I'm not ready. That's just that. Moving on. Another thing, because I feel like a lot of the times, regardless to who the candidates are, it's like, well, what are you doing for black people? What are you doing for black people? I believe that America has what, maybe 13% black people. Like, America's not doing anything for black people. And nobody who's running is doing anything for black people. It's just what it is. However, it depends on When it comes to the black person, it depends on what issues you care about. So, for instance, last August, I went to a town hall. The previous president of Howard University, Wayne Fredericks, he was leaving office. It was a new president coming in, and he did a town hall. And he talked about, how, of course, he went, like, every president of Howard goes to meet the president of the United States, regardless if it's Trump or anybody else. But he talked about how he got a lot of backlash for going to meet with Trump. However, there's a federal grant that HBCUs get every year, and it's an enormous amount of money, like maybe around 100 $200 million, that it has to be passed by the government every year. So they have to vote on it, and Trump voted on it every year. He voted, and then Howard gets the most money because a bunch of HBCUs get it, but Howard gets the most money. So he was making a stance that, like, I can't not go meet with this man who's signing off for our institution to, you know. And since I've been going, I've been out of Howard since 2017. Since I've been going, tons of research centers, 2 new dorms, all kind of things that they have been able to build, all types of partnerships that they have been able to create and make because of this federal fund that we get every year. So then it goes to say, like, okay, so you are a diehard Democrat, but you're also an HBCU grad. You want your kids to go to HBCUs. You want your kids to get money to go to HBCUs or whatever. So it's like, whereas the Democrats, and this is what he talked about, they did not want to vote for that because, again, the country is giving all of this money to us. Where is it taking money from? So a lot of Democrats didn't want to vote on that, and they have to vote on it every year, and a lot of them voted against it. But Trump and a lot of the Republicans that was able to vote on it, they voted for it. So it really boils down to the issues, like what's more important to you, you know? And we cannot look at black people as a monolith of, okay, well, you're black, so you should vote this way because Trump is against this. Like, no, but I'm black and educated, and I actually work for HBCU. My entire family goes to HBCUs, and on this particular issue, I'm siding with Trump for that. And you know what? He's gonna get my vote. So I just think that it's important to know what's going on. It's important to choose your issues that you care about. Like the woman from Mary, the gospel group, she got a lot of backlash for saying that she was voting for Trump as well. So,
See,
it's just Chrisette Michelle has not been able to recover because she sung, and that was the craziest thing to me because I was like, are y'all mad at her for going to do a job? Like, he's the president anyway. Who's to say she even voted for him?
right.
But she's a singer and she got booked to sing at the White House. Like, that is, I mean, for an inauguration, that is, I don't care who the president is. That is like one of the most biggest things that you can do as in your occupation as a singer. So,
Yeah.
people are weird. And, mentally people are weird. And last thing I'm going to say is all about the optics. And this is why I said I'm not ready for a woman president, and I know America isn't, because I strongly believe that the man is the head and the woman is the neck. So the woman can move the head any way she wants, but the optics is very important. And I don't feel like the optics of Kamala Harris is gonna that's not gonna fly in America. And that's just how I feel.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, we gonna see how it all comes together. Like I said, you know, I don't know if I'm ready, but it's not on me. America's gonna figure this thing out November 5th.